This side of the tape, I decided I'd do a little talking on it. The other side is all music. So, anyway, this is the same day I did the other side this morning. Why is it when you start to talk on this darn thing, you can't think of what to say? Anyway, it's 6:30. I had my dinner. I was sitting out on the back porch. We've got quite a breeze blowing, and I could see some more pollen blowing, so I thought I better come inside and do this. And I didn't want to work out in the yard tonight because I've got a circle meeting tomorrow at 10:30. And that usually lasts till 1:30 or something like that. And we're going up to this lady's house. She plays the piano and the organ like I do, and she plays 2 days a week over at the Senior Citizen. And I played Tuesday, and there's a lady that comes in. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was playing, and as she came in the door, she was singing the song that I was playing. So Tuesday, I had taken some of Romberg's pieces, and I was playing that, and she stood there at the piano and sang all that I played. And she's in the chorus. They're going to put on the college is going to put on Sound of Music next month, so she's singing in that. She's got a good voice. Anyway, when I'm playing, or when Marty is playing, the seniors just love to talk. They just gab all the time. And I don't know how they can hear what I'm playing. I can't hardly hear what I'm playing when they're talking. Anyway, I guess they hear with one ear, because after I get through, they clap. So anyway, it's fun. I can play a lot of those pieces that I hadn't played for a long time. Oh, and incidentally, I found my glasses. I thought I had brought them in the house. Just before I ended the other side, something came to me, go look in the car. So I went and looked in the car, and there they were in the tissue box. And then I remembered taking them out of my purse in the car before I went into the post office and the stores. So I found them. Thank goodness. But I still haven't found that other little gift. Whenever I find it, I'll send it to you. Whenever that is, I don't know whatever happened to it. Because I put it in a little box. So I think there's a gremlin around here somewhere. Anyhow, about 3 o'clock this afternoon, I heard the ambulance and the fire engine, and they went right over here on the next street over from the front yard. That house over there that used to have a monkey. Anyway, they were there for about 45 minutes, and then they left. So I guess somebody had a slight heart attack or something. I didn't see them carry anybody out. Anyway, this is a weekend coming up, but I don't think it'll be as big, or it might be, and people may stay home the 4th of July weekend. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like a year since last 4th. And I went over to Daisy's, and we go down to the lake to look at the fireworks. And last year, next door, Jim's mother came up from Placerville, and I went with them. They went over because they didn't know where to go to see the fireworks, and so I asked them to, go over where we go. So they enjoyed it. They probably do the same thing again this year. Jim's got the fence just about finished. He's got, well, my side is all finished, and He's going from the corner here by my driveway over to the house. And he's going to put a gate there too. Well, for their convenience too, to come around by the lawn instead of going clear around the house. And it's 6 foot high, so you can't jump over it. And now the summer is here, little Amy, she comes and knocks on my door every once in a while. Just as soon as she gets over here, she's got to go to the bathroom. I can't figure it out. She and Kay were over the other day and we were sitting on the front porch, and she said she had to go, and Kay said, well, then you go home and go. She says, no. Kay says, if you have to go, you go home and go. I don't have to go, she says. But that's, you remember last summer she went every 15 minutes, or every 10 minutes. I don't know, something about going in my house. So, seemed like there was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, I went out shopping this morning early while it was still cool, because it gets hot in the afternoon and you park over there and the car gets hot. So I went this morning about 9:30, and I bought a whole chicken and I put it in about 5 after 11, and Helen called and said she was coming over for lunch at 11, so she was here about a quarter after. And I had put the chicken in the oven, shake and bake, because she had said she was going to get off at 12. Well, they changed her just about 10 minutes to 11, told her she had to go at 11. So, this meeting where I go tomorrow, Marty, her name's Martha, but we call her Marty, she has one of those small organs, not too small, medium sized. It has percussion, where you can put on the rhythm. You can get banjo, guitar, trumpet, any instrument that you want, and then it's got the rhythm section to it too. And she can really make that thing talk. She was here at one of the meetings at my house, and she couldn't handle the Hammond very well because she was used to the other one, and I can't handle that one very well. I don't. Oh, there's too many buttons on there. My goodness. I bet there's over 100 buttons that you have to push to get the sound effects that you want. So I don't care for the bongity-bong-bong rhythm all the time. So, well, I guess I'll shut this off till I think of something else to say. Hello again. I didn't get all my things put back up. I put a few back up over the stove, and I haven't got my plates washed yet. And I think I'll just leave them down for a while. I put most of the pictures back, and I've got 3 little vases in the big front window with artificial flower in each one. Little short ones, about 3 or 4 inches high. And I'm going to leave the curtains down for a while because the front yard is nice and green and looks nice through the window, and so I'm just going to leave it for a while. Out here on the front steps I have a big giant African marigold in one pot, regular marigolds in another one, and 3 petunias there. And the marigolds are blooming, but the petunias aren't blooming. And when I went over here to Lucky's this morning, I also went into Payless, and whoever's taking care of the bedding plants over there haven't been watering them sufficiently, and they're all drying up, and they're selling them for 59 cents. Well, there's some of them out ready for the garbage can. But I got 2 petunias, one red one and one purple, and I put them out here in front. And I may get a couple more. Some of that stuff they ought to just throw away. It's like the chives that was all nice and green, they're all brown. I don't know. But there's something wrong with the atmosphere or the sun rays this year, because I started my squash in the house and it was about 4 inches high, and a month ago I put it out and it's now only about 6 inches high. It is not growing, and my Gloriosa daisies that were at least 3 feet high, they're starting to bloom, and they're only, well, there's one out there that's a foot high. The rest of them are about 8 inches high. I don't know what it is. And those blue daisies out there on the end that don't bloom until the last of August, they're only about 6 inches high. They're not growing either. So I don't know what it is, except we had some cold weather, and then we had some hot weather, and then it's been cold again at night now for a few nights. This morning it was 36. They say it'll be 32 in the morning. Now that's freezing. So, whatever. And I started some peas in the house, and they were just doing beautiful. They were about 6 inches high. I put them outside, and I'd been putting them out every day to harden them so that they would, when I did plant them, they would be okay. Well, I planted them, and they all died. And I soaked some more seed just to plant in the ground, and they didn't even come up. So, I don't know whether we got some acid snow and it's in the ground or what. Fertilizer don't seem to help it any. But I have 2 roses in bloom, and the carnation I had here in the back, it froze last winter. And my coreopsis that was out in front, I see this morning I was out there, and there's a few plants that's about 6 inches high mixed in with the grass. So I have dug and pulled some of the grass and cut some of it off, and I've got a lot more to go. And the white Chinese bellflowers, they're not growing hardly at all. They're only about 4 inches high. Last year they were about 2.5 feet high, I guess. So there's something wrong somewhere, and it's not only just me. I've heard others talk about it too. So, did I tell you I cut the birdhouse down? I don't remember if I did or not. Anyway, it was leaning way over and looked kind of cruddy, so I went out there with the saw, and I sawed the 2 before that held it up. And there was another 2 before that I thought was going to hold, and I was going to have to knock it off with a hammer. But when I cut that 1 2 before in 2, then the birdhouse fell over on the ground, broke in 2. But it was a mess. It was a mess. And one of these days, when I get ambitious and feel like a carpenter, I'll have to make a bird feeder for the winter, but not to put it out there. I can never get to it in the winter. I can't wade through the snow. So I'm going to put it out here close to where Jim plows the driveway so I can see it from the kitchen window. Out there by that tree somewhere. Anyway, we don't have the birds around here that we used to have because of my cat and the 2 cats next door. And the other day there was 2 robins out there on Kay's lawn. They were picking bugs, I guess. I thought, you dumb birds, you better get away from there. Those 2 cats over there will make a meal out of you. But I didn't see the cats chasing them, so I guess they made it all right. And this morning there was a little new blue jay up here, sitting on the limb of this tree by the front porch. He hadn't been flying very long. He was a cute little thing. But I don't see all those. We used to have the western tanager. I haven't seen one for 2 or 3 years. And the little California creepers that go up and down the trees, I haven't seen them. Seems like the blue jays, they're prominent around here. And they squawk at the cat all the time. And I've seen a few robins. And that's all. I guess they're staying down in the meadow and down close to the creek where the water is and away from the animals. I don't know what else. Well, I'm going to shut this off. You know, I told you that Helen was going to retire. Well, I thought she was going to retire the 1st of July. Now she says it's going to be the middle of July or the 1st of August because her job as such ended. They don't have it here in this branch anymore. But she's been in so many departments, somebody up there wants her to train one or two other people that are coming in. There's a lot of people have left that bank. Some voluntarily and some have been transferred. But they want her to train somebody, so I guess it's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks before she retires. She now, she's been there 25 years, she belongs to the Founders Club of the Bank of America. As you see, she went in there, I forget, I think they were still at the Y. I'm pretty sure they were still at the Y yet. And then she moved up here with them. Gee, that's been so long ago, I forgot. You know, I got my Motorland today from 3A, and there's a scenic railway that has been built, and I had not, for some reason or other, heard about it. I think maybe I can get the article read, just to have something to fill up this side. I'm going to read it to you. I think I can get through with it. There's a new excursion train now operating through a scenic portion of northwestern California. For the first time since passenger service was discontinued on the Northwestern Pacific Railroad in 1971, it is possible to travel through 145 spectacular miles of the Redwood Empire from Willits to Eureka by train. This section has been termed the most scenic route in California, and perhaps the West. With 25 tunnels, 29 bridges, and 9 trestles over 300 feet long, the railroad is an engineering masterpiece. During much of its 7-hour run, the new train, named the North Coast Daylight, follows the wild and scenic north-flowing Eagle River. And I didn't know that. Hitherto accessible only by whitewater rafters and backpackers. As it passes through portions of Mendocino, Trinity, and Humboldt County, the North Coast Daylight offers passengers a variety of sights, ranging from rocky canyons to huge stands of stately redwoods. At Scotia, travelers, that's just south of Eureka. At Scotia, travelers get a view of the world's largest redwood mill and one of the last remaining company towns, both owned by the Pacific Lumber Company, a pioneer California company over 100 years old. After leaving Scotia, the train slows for the famous Scotia Bluffs and creeps along 3,000 feet of trestle work high above the Eagle River. Leaving the mountains, it heads for the coast, traveling through the farmlands of the Eagle River Valley and along the eastern shore of Humboldt Bay, passing close to fishing boats and ocean-going freighters docked along the way. At 6:15 p.m., the train glides to a stop at 1st and F Street in Eureka, in the heart of the newly restored Old Town section, a picturesque area of shops, excellent restaurants, and bed and breakfast accommodations. Passengers stay overnight in Eureka and board the train in the morning for the return trip to Willits. On holiday weekends, such as Memorial Day and Labor Day, the train returns on Monday, making a 3-day weekend. The primitive Eagle River Canyon kept northwestern California isolated for many years. Roads were little more than trails, and the best way to reach Eureka was by coastal steamer. It was not until 1905 that a through rail connection to San Francisco Bay was completed, and that was only through the combined efforts of the Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe. Together they created the Northwestern Pacific Railroad. In 1929, the SP bought out the Santa Fe's interest and became the sole owner. In its time, the Northwestern Pacific became a busy mini-empire operating freight and passenger trains from Sausalito and Tiburon. It also ran ferries on San Francisco Bay and a high-speed electric computer line in Marin County that many residents wish was still in existence. When the Golden Gate Bridge was completed, the ferries, the electric line, and the mainline passenger train to Eureka were dropped. In recent years, the railroad right-of-way has been plagued with tunnel fires and washouts. Especially memorial was the 1,000-year flood in 1964, which completely destroyed 100 miles of track and 3 major steel bridges in the Eel River Canyon. I remember hearing about that flood. Natural disasters and fires, coupled with unusually high maintenance costs, led to the Southern Pacific's request to abandon the northern division between Willis and Eureka. After 2 years of hearings and court cases, the Interstate Commerce Commission ruled that the railway was necessary to the economy of northwestern California, but permission was denied. Brian Whipple, a railroad entrepreneur, stepped in and bought the ailing railroad from the SP for $5 million and renamed it the Eureka Southern. Content with the freight business generated by the mills and wood products industries of Humboldt County, Whipple has turned the passenger operations over to the newly formed Redwood Coast Railway Company, which is operated by Dick Reynolds and Neil Ferguson. They own 26 railroad cars and 3 locomotives. Classic cars from famous trains of American railroading will be used on the North Coast Daylight. A dining car from the Empire Builder, wide window coaches from the Shasta Daylight, and a full-length Vistadome car, and a bar lounge at the lower level that saw service on the Santa Fe Chief. Several of these cars were on display at the World's Fair in New Orleans, along with the famous SP Daylight steam locomotive, the 4449. They remember at that fair they had that special train, was that last year? That went from Seattle clear back to New Orleans. That was a special run. And then it says here, if you're going, the North Coast Daylight will be strictly an excursion train, operating weekends only during the summer months from Memorial Day through late October. Fare for the Willits Eureka round trip is $49 for adults. Children, $24.50. Now, isn't that something? That $49 for a round trip. I think that's pretty good. Then there's other excursions you can take from San Francisco and everything. I thought that was something. When Helen was over here for lunch, I read that to her, too, because I had just got got it in the mail this morning. Well, I got through, and I've got 24 left. Let's see, I'm up to 24 on the tape, so I got a lot to go yet. No, not too much. Anyhow, I'll rest a minute. Oh, here I go again. I have a tendency to talk too loud on this thing, so you'll have to tone it down. I rewound this a little bit and listened to myself. My voice is too sharp. I hope yours has got a deal where you can make it softer, not quite so loud. Anyway, I've kind of run out of things to say, it seems like. I hope you got your septic tank open. Got it running again. Well, you've been there since 77. That's 8 years, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. You must have put in a big one. You should have a leach line, I guess, to take care of all the overflow. I haven't heard from anybody lately. I guess if I'd write some letters, I might hear. I owe a few. I can't seem to get my letters written anymore. But One of these days, I'm going to have to oil up this right arm and start writing. I don't, well, I think I'll just shut this off. Maybe I'll think of something in the morning. Good morning. That's the little music box on my telephone. I'm going to stop this for just a minute. I had to have an extension cord on there to reach the telephone, but I didn't want to have it strung across the floor, so I took it off. Well, this is another beautiful day. We have a slight wind, and the radio announcer a while ago said that the fire danger was extremely high, to be very careful. This force is coming up forth pretty soon. There'll be a lot of people up here. Anyway, I was going to get this finished yesterday and get your box off, but I had my meeting yesterday, and when I came home I was tired, and I didn't want to rush to get the box ready and go down in the traffic in the afternoon, and so I'll send it off Monday. You should get it by Wednesday. If you don't, I guess I don't know, they may not deliver it on Friday even. Anyway, you'll get it. Hopefully. I was trying to get it to you before your birthday, but you know, the hurrier I go, the behinder I get. Oh dear. Well, there isn't too much left on this tape, so I'll just let it run out. We had a nice meeting yesterday, very nice meeting. This is a group of congenial people, and we had quite a discussion on on the Bible. I had not asked anybody to give a devotional, so I read out of the Daily Word. Honest to goodness, I can't think of nothing. I read it out of the July Daily Word, and I'll get that to. I'll put that in the. I don't know what I did with it. I'll put that in the box if I can find it. And I had to take everything down off the walls and put everything away to get ready for the house cleaners. I don't know where anything is, but I'll try and find that little Daily Word and get it in the box. The one I read yesterday was Relax. It's in about the middle of the book. And then Evelyn Grahl was there yesterday, and she hadn't been there for quite a while. She used to be our Bible study instructor, and we enjoyed having her because she knows so much. You can't hardly talk about anything that she don't know about it, because she has done a very extensive study. She used to, as she said, stay up till midnight sometimes to get the lesson ready for us on our meeting day. But I can't go